Well, my sister was gonna come out from Trumansburg, but she bagged.
The weather.
She said it's too windy. Come on, you can pile it up and leave it as much.
I sent this to my nephew and he put it together and he sent me a picture.
You also.
Help.
Knock it off.
Help.
You want some still right couch?
Cookies are coming out.
I love it.
Do you need a drink?
Yeah. Hey, do you guys want to?
Ooh. Okay, here you go. Ooh, you're cooking, huh? It looks so good. Do you guys want one? Yes. Thank you. You want to bring the cookie over with us?
I got an iPhone.
Oh. Would you like a cookie? No, thanks. Would you like a cookie?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna set it here and have it after.
Here, Ayla, you got a napkin?
Yay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, that's fine. Would you like a cookie?
I'm not gonna try. Thanks. We're good.
So the name of this story is Blue's Magnificent Tale. And it's by D.E. Bentley. This story you are about to hear bobbed along on the waves across time in a corked bluish bottle found by a small child. The child had been looking for shells along the shoreline of a great lake when they saw the bottle and picked it up. Inside the bottle was a story, a whale of a tale about the tale of a whale whose fin, quite by chance, carved out the Finger Lakes. Blue's Magnificent Tale. I wrote this book for anyone who's ever found a note inside a bottle and dared to set it free. And I also want to send out a special birthday wish to Graham in Charlotte, who is 1 year old today. Long, long, long ago, before the time of humans, before the time when tales were told, the earth was mostly water. With so much water and so little land, some of the land animals traded in their legs for swimming gear. The largest of these animals were the whales, bigger even than the largest dinosaurs that ever lived. The largest and wisest of all the whales was a whale named Blue. One day, as Blue napped and dreamed of krill filtering, the land below the water started to shake, waking her from a deep sleep. Blue was sloshed this way and that way. She was starting to feel seasick. What next, she wondered, as the water rushed out from under her. Twisting downwind with a mighty spin, she stood upright on her tail, digging a deep groove into the now exposed land with her fin. With each turn of her great body, Blue's fins dug more grooves into the earth. Buoyed by the breeze, she whirled around and pirouetted, then twist, twirl. Just then, powerful waves swept suddenly inland, catching Blue by surprise. Blue rode the wave and disappeared into the deep. Then came the great rains. Water rushed north, deepening glacial gorges and pouring into waterfalls, filling the grooves left by Blue's magnificent tail. Years later, when humans came to be, they traveled inland to these lakes. It was these earliest human inhabitants who gave the lakes their names. Panesis, Hemlock, Canadice, Honeoy, Canandaigua, Cayuga, Seneca, Cayuga, Owasco, Skaneateles, and Otisco.
And they're called like 4 of those.
Blue, the whale with the magnificent tail, never returned to the Finger Lakes. Happy in the deep sea, she lived for many, many moons. Perhaps she is still out there, floating in a restful slumber, dreaming about the mighty wave that gave her a chance to dance. Bruh. Now I'm having a cookie. Tail first. Any questions, thoughts, ideas?
Huh?
Do you know that blue whales used to live in the area that's now the Finger Lakes? Or at least whales did.
There were a lot of creatures that used to live where we were standing right now.
Mm-hmm. So some of the creatures in here, this creature here, that's actually an ancestor of the whale that started in the water, went on land, and decided to go back into the water. And these creatures right here, these little fish, these armored fish, still live today. And this is a fish that no longer is with us, but is
It
extinct.
kind of looks like an ancestor of a turtle
That's
by
interesting.
the mouth.
Yeah, well, they actually had armor, so it's almost like, turtle shell,
Yeah.
but it's a fish. Yeah, I don't know if there's any relation to the turtle. But it's kind of fun.
Darlene, how do they know that all these creatures lived here? How do we know that?
Maybe some of our young listeners can tell us. How do we know what creatures used to live here? What would tell you?
Can you say that one?
You have a dinosaur on your shirt. How do they know about that dinosaur? Science? What part of science? What did they find?
Mm-hmm. Can you say it louder? She didn't hear you either.
Say it.
Oh.
Bones, yeah. Or fossils, petrified bones buried in rocks. And now they can even, like when I did some of these creatures, I guessed what color they might be, or I made it my own colors. But now they can even tell whether an animal was light colored or dark colored in some cases. They do analysis.
It's amazing how far technology's come.
It is. It's kind of fun.
You can see different pigments of the skin and their genetics and then their bones and what kinds of lives they used to live. And they've even found last meals petrified and case still in
Absolutely.
fossils, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, there was just there's a David Attenborough documentary that just came out about precisely that thing, and they were able to determine how this animal was killed. And it's this giant ichthyosaur that was found, and it's a really good documentary. Well, that's blue. Any other questions? I'm gonna finish my cookie. Thanks for coming, you guys.
History was always one of those things I was always fascinated with in high school. Learning about Pompeii and
Pompeii's fascinating.
I am still very much obsessed with Pompeii, and they're still continuing to find a bunch of stuff.
I know, it's incredible. Whole loaves of bread.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
And a total mix of class too, like
Yeah.
upper and lower class, because everybody's just running or
Yeah.
trying to survive. Yeah. Thank you, George.
Thank you.
It's just absolutely amazing. I mean, you think about how little our presence has been
Mm-hmm.
in the span of the earth, in the time span of things. And
Absolutely right.
you think about it, all the land used to be one mass, and everything else was just water. Well, what are we gonna find when more of that ice melts?
Mm-hmm.
They're already discovering more diseases and bacteriums and all this other stuff that have been buried in the ice for millenniums.
Yeah. 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 The whole continent
It's
shift is fascinating.
Scary, to be
Mhm.
honest, because we don't have any way of fighting against this stuff that we have no idea even survived in the first place.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, this could have been part of what wiped out whole civilizations.
Exactly.
We have no way of knowing that.
I mean, it's only a theory that a meteor wiped out all the dinosaurs and stuff. I mean, yes, there's certain evidence behind it. But then again, there's also so much more we don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that.
Should
In a
help,
nutshell, it's a
Should help
fascinating.
keep our egos in check, right? We
Mhm.
don't really know very much.
We really don't. We know more about space than we do our own ocean.
Yeah.
Sure.
Instead of trying to get out of the planet, we should try and find a way to conserve the planet we're in for longer.
Mm-hmm. Is anyone here watching For All Mankind? No, it's a alternative history of the space race.
No.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And it's 2012, and they're mining a meteor that's circling Mars, where there's civilizations,
Where?
humans living.
Where can you see it?
Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, For All Mankind. It's good. It's really good. Really well done. We just watched like We just wrapped up season 3.
Yeah, the space, I know space exploration is important in ways, but especially when it first started, it seemed like
Let's
an
give you a
enormous
green, let's
waste
give
of
you some like green in there.
It did, but at least in the beginning, I mean, I'm all for just making the best use of the planet that we have, but in the beginning, it brought mankind together, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, now there's divisions, in the alternative history, everybody's fighting, it's not brought people together. Everybody's just trying to make a resource grab for the new
That
resource.
probably has more to say about people than it does about space exploration.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Doesn't do.
always.
People.
Yeah, right.
To do that.
We're the problem.
We're the problem. We're all a problem. I know. Yeah, what could we do? I don't know. It seems so scary every day when I wake up.
I still find it fascinating that the U.S. has only been the U.S. for a little over 200 years.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Do you know Michael's in?
Yeah, I've met him a couple times. Yeah,
Were you here when he was here?
just recently for the
I
last
didn't
week.
know
Yeah,
that.
Yeah. So he's
Yeah.
living,
Oh,
been living
Just keep on coloring in it.
off grid for 40 years,
yeah,
basically.
like pretty nice solar cells and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's completely, I've been to his house. He's got a kitchen,
Yeah,
and it's a nice house, but he doesn't plug into any of it.
we're just talking.
yeah,
about-
solar.
We're probably
Yeah.
plugged into.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah,
I just, we just lost electricity from 7:30 at night till 2:30 in the afternoon,
feels like,
but no, it was nice. I loved it. Todd starts
Peaceful.
getting nervous when he can't look at his phone after that long, but I
on the
loved it.
upside, you can't do any work, which is great.
You can't do any work. You have to read during the
You
day.
can paint.
It was, yeah, it was nice. I liked it. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it without being prepared for the long term, but I've always thought of it.
Yeah.
Now I like motor tools.
You live in a place where you could.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could get by for a while because we have a wood stove. We have a pond we could dip flush water from.
Okay. The water really is probably the biggest issue.
Water's the problem. I mean, the tanks continued for that full time. We got hot and cold water for that entire time. But after a day or two, you got because we have no way to pump the water. Now, if we had like a small solar thing that could hook up and pump the water, then we'd have water, gas.
It's a weird thing, so the way it works, this is maybe getting too deep into it, but
Yeah.
the way it would have to work now to go off the grid is sort of like, I was talking to Bill yesterday. When you're alone, most people around here would rather have a house out of town,
Actually, they can vote.
quiet, and the reason I know this is because it's much more expensive. to do
Yeah,
that.
right. Right.
But I know, I've done that myself, I lived alone for a couple of months at a time up here. I'm not sure.
It was less on year round. Halloween, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Just don't like Christmas.
So the way we have to be done that off the grid. It's not like you're being a tribe, it's pretty much by yourself. So that's kind of I guess the downside, a good part of being connected is that you are interdependent.
Yeah, communes really didn't work either. They were a great concept, but
Especially not for the Shakers, but well,
Yeah,
we know we have problems.
there's a couple left. We love shaker culture. It's simple. But yeah, well, we've just been debating, back to the age thing. We're just, we like our house. We've already put stuff into it. There's some custom woodwork. We got a lot more work to do. We've lived 10 years and it still feels like we're pecking away at stuff. And then we're like, where do we go if we get where, we don't want to drive as much? We have this property in Brockport, which is within bicycling distance of the village on the Erie Canal. And so we're like,
Is that the place to go?
yeah, but that's like when you have to build a house there. So we'd be starting
You're not the
over.
first friend I've had. And I have friends who are 20 years older than me, 30 years older than me. Some of them still alive. had to make that decision, you know, they like,
Yeah.
one friend had a house in, what do you call it? Prattsburg,
Mhm.
little cabin, beautiful property, a vineyard, but he was 85 years old. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Bro, shit.
I have to go live in a place where there's other.
Yeah, and I'd rather, you know, I'd rather be set in somewhere before I get to that point where I know the area, I know how to get places, I know where my doctor is. And we were gonna build on Brockport 10 years ago, and then
Stop hitting me,
town of Sweden.
I heard already, please stop.
It's a nice place to be.
Yeah, so we
AJ,
didn't, so now it's 10 years later, we're going, okay, we've already put all this time and energy into this, are we gonna do that
I
now?
already heard those.
But
I told,
it's in the works.
yeah, and I told Denise the same thing. What you're talking, Allie's talking about the opposite. She's in a different place,
Yeah,
different stage of life.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll switch places.
But I told Denise, I'm like, you know, our jobs
Oh, shit.
are where they are, our primary job.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys do that.
Well, we have an apartment, but
Yeah.
it's not an apartment I paid for.
Boom.
But I think
Yeah.
it's coming time where I can't rely on that. And I'm gonna have to work in New York City.
Yeah,
I don't want to be there.
yeah,
Boom.
Like any community, if you live there, you want to live there.
yeah.
So I think that's what we better shift some things around and maybe think about buying a little apartment.
Where's my dad?
Having it for older age as we.
Yeah.
What time it
Yeah.
is?
You know, it's not.
I want to go
Yeah.
to
5
my
hours
dad.
is not fun now, and I don't think they're gonna be fun.
No, I don't know. I could
Bro,
not do
that's
that.
bullshit.
Oops. Yeah, I could not do that.
Bullshit.
Anyway, it's interesting, keeps life interesting. I guess. You know, you don't know what your next move is gonna be, and
Yeah. Now, there's also the possibility of buying the house next door.
you, now.
Yeah, next door where we are,
Yeah.
because the guy that lives there, his social security is so low that he can't keep living there
You're bullshit.
unless we buy it and
No.
rent it out to him. Which would be like sort of a investment property. But then we're thinking maybe we could have some caregiver move in and take care of us later, you know?
Gotta line up the caregiver.
Yeah, I know, yeah, that was a time. Todd was like, who's gonna wanna come out
You
here?
have a
Like,
son, I have a son, but I don't
No,
foresee
wouldn't
my
be a
son
son.
being a caregiver. I do not.
No, it wouldn't be a son, it would be a paid, you'd have to hire somebody to, you know, you can have this house and a little stipend. If you come take care of us, about 2 months, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's crazy. And maybe we won't need caring for, maybe
Maybe.
we'll all hammer out, but the problem is, like, we have an 80-year, he's my ex-husband, but he's our really good friend, he's 80, and he's like, oh, well, I won't need anything, I'll just, you know, don't worry, when the time comes, I'm gonna take care of things, I'm gonna just walk out into some mountainous
Into the
region.
woods.
And I'm like, you know, that's a nice, and he's a philosopher, and he knows better.
You're
than
probably not gonna go walk out into the woods.
No, and I told him, you know, this is a nice romantic notion, but the bottom line is, by the time you get to the point where you're gonna walk out in the woods, you're not gonna be walking out in the woods. You know? And,
That's happened. My mother used to talk about this all the time, just like, you know, and then when the time came, she did not want to go.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
you know,
no, it's hard to,
I think little planning goes a long way.
yeah,
But you know, I don't know, how about you? I have a lot of gratitude for just having a place to stay. I never thought I would own a house 20 years ago.
I feel incredible where I'm at right now, I feel so lucky, I have room to create, I have time to create for the first time really, where, you know, I can go in any direction I want.
How's the, are you still doing the wilderness stuff, by the way?
I just discontinued with the search and rescue team, in
Okay.
part because it was never a good fit. They really kind of, in part because my dog can't do it. I was gonna train Ash to do it, but he's too big, his bite is too strong if he happens to bite somebody.
Have you seen her dog? He's
Big.
really big, like super big.
But,
I
so,
think he eats more than probably my whole family.
yeah, but I also, the team was just weird. like they were one of these well-established older teams that anytime anybody new suggests something, they just recoil and then nothing changes. And it's too bad because they're losing people. I've seen a number of people who came interested and offered up suggestions and they shot them down and they just never came back.
Other people don't change.
Yeah.
The only thing that never changes. is
Yeah.
Change, right? So that's it.
So the short answer is I hung on last year and then I just finally said, I'm not doing this. I'm not putting the time in. I'm not invested in it. So,
Well,
I like it.
I did it.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I did go out on some searches, so, I mean, we didn't find anybody wild, but you usually don't. It's resolution. You give them, the family, some reassurance. That's it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it gives you being out in the dark, in the woods, kind of gives you a sense of how
Yeah,
easy it is to.
get turned in.
I've gotten lost. I got lost in Maine once on a mountain with my ex-wife, and I was like, okay, it's October, so the bear are out, and they're
Yeah.
hungry.
Yeah,
And here we are, we got no guide. I barely know where the trail is.
yeah,
Get ready.
it's scary.
It's gonna be 20 degrees tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one time I was with my friend and we got turned around on a trail and I just intuitively, it was getting dark and I just said, it's this way, we're going this way, we're going fast. And I picked the right way and we
Right.
got out, but
Yeah.
it,
We
Yeah.
even with Bill last night, we came to a point in the trail, like not a clear split.
That's
And we went the wrong way. He's a guy, we went the wrong way, professional guy. We were like, okay,
not the right way.
and we're in a park, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd like to go on some of those. I'd like to get out more. I just haven't been getting out, in part because of miscellaneous things. I'm not taking the dogs out as much because Ash can't walk very far, so that slows a little
Yeah.
bit. So,
My little guy had a cluster of seizures a couple months ago, 3 months ago, and we had him in the hospital. And literally, I thought he was gone. Like, he couldn't get out of bed, he couldn't do anything. I was dripper feeding him, bottle feeding him. And he's made like a full physical comeback.
oh, good.
But mentally, he's,
Not
seizure dogs kind of decline mentally over the
Yeah.
years. But he's like, he forgets, he doesn't know how to get back in his bed.
Hmm.
So there's
Oh,
a comedy every day. He's walking around for 3 hours eating. I pick him up, he growls at me the whole time I'm picking him up. Put him in his bed, and 2 seconds later,
yeah,
oh, God.
he's out. That's it.
But
Yeah,
what
yeah.
else? What else can you do? Really?
Yeah, Ash had a seizure,
Babies.
not this past summer, but the summer before.
Oh, really? Just
Yeah, he
one?
just dropped on the deck.
Yeah.
And we picked him up, a whole bunch of us, like rolled him on the blanket, carried him to the vet. By the time he got to the vet, he was coming to.
So there's a reason for that one seizure.
Don't know, but now he's definitely having neurological things.
Yeah.
His front paw, he doesn't fully picks it up, and then it drags. It's not quite. So something's up.
Yeah. The meds do help. I will say that. Like, I resisted phenobarbital for years because I didn't want Steve to be drugged all the time.
Yeah.
But I think that was the right decision because he was alert and he was, even though he had seizures every couple of weeks, he was kind of living a decent life. But now he's got to be on phenobarbital.
So they're all.
It
Yeah.
does definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he hasn't had, so we're going to the neurologist in Brighton on Tuesday, and we had a full x-ray. The x-ray does show a possible place on his paw where it could be pinching the nerve. But, they wanted, the vet said, x-rays in there, or we can do another series of
Yeah, they do that. That's such a good.
Yeah. if it was a 2-year-old dog that had the chance to live into 16, if this is a 2-year-old dog, that life expectancy would be great even if he was in super home.
Because it's just so
Because
big.
size,
Yeah.
it just,
What kind of dog is he?
he's, well, the highest percentage is French Mastiff.
Oh,
And then he's got like bulldog and all
So they
kinds.
get breathing issues.
Yeah, no, he doesn't, he cleared on the breast, whatever,
Yeah.
he doesn't have that. And he cleared his health thing for his DNA test, cleared all the major things associated with his breed. Something's.
Yeah.
He's,
The mixes are.
Let's get ready.
the other most, I think I've seen.
I'm going
Yeah.
for this up
Yeah, and Ozzy, we're actually.
You go
starting to
roll it up?
know we haven't had a test.
Okay.
So we're starting to think we might
because I got pockets.
Okay.
Let's get your snowshoe down.
oh,
Cause like I keep watching these videos, and they told us he was a trash. My brother doesn't know what to do in public spaces.
Why does he hurt you?
He
They do
he
the
acts
shepherd.
just like everything I've been reading about puppies.
have you done the
I
DNA
haven't.
is fun.
Yeah, I
It is
haven't
fun.
done it yet, but like he's a German Shepherd. He can go on the next.
It always surprises me, because I had it done first time, my colleague.
I didn't get that paper to me.
Colleague.
You can put it in these pockets.
Shepherd and Shiba Inu.
God.
That's the
Tiny
weird
little like
mix. Yeah,
Japanese,
that's the weird mix.
but he barked and but he would like jump up and
I'm
bite
sorry,
my ears.
brother ruins everything, too.
Can't do one good thing for you guys.
He was big too. He was oh my God.
Stand up.
I know, but it's, I don't know, I figure with dogs,
Arm.
they're gonna live and die anyway.
Arm.
Well,
I will
Let me
take care
my
of them.
all
voice.
the last one
Yep,
outlived
we'll
us.
get 'em.
We outlived them.
Let me do
I
it.
thought about that, at what
Yep.
age would not be fair for you to get a dog anymore?
Yeah.
I don't know.
My dog was on the horse and we had one. And it was her ran and my ran.
That's a lot of work.
Your birds are over there on the other side of the chair. Look at them.
So, I don't
He's
know,
telling Josh I need a farm.
being deferred.
He's not having that.
Really?
Do you want
Yeah, why
Cause
not?
I would do all the work. Oh, like I really want homestead.
Usually it's
so
the
bad.
other way around. I mean, that's usually like the woman gets dragged out to the farm.
Yeah. You can homestead wherever.
I know, that's what I call our place, I'm like, I'm making this as only possible homestead, I was like.
You have chickens? They can't have
You
chickens.
can't
right?
have chickens.
Right, right.
No, but I always told Josh.
There you go.
Chickens. I have one chicken.
What happened to your other chickens?
They just gradually died. She's
Foxes?
just.
She wants to put the snowman in a pocket.
They didn't get foxes, they just.
Fold up the
got
snowman
all
and
together.
put it in a
They
pocket.
just
I
have
don't know
this
if you're walking.
one white chicken,
Just gonna
she
ride.
lays a little blue egg every 3
Right
days,
next to you.
unless she's molting. I had two.
Oh, I want.
They are
One
nice.
more.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, that's an
Here, let me help.
some amusement for the chickens. I could
Yeah.
watch chickens every day.
Yeah,
I don't wanna take care of them, but
no, I'm not.
Push, 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 push.
I have a heater.
Good job.
To keep her water, so to keep her warm, because she doesn't have other chickens to cuddle.
Yeah.
So, but,
they have a hedgehog,
oh, nice.
which is interesting.
A pet hedgehog?
Very sweet.
Seahorse too?
Yeah, she
Yep.
loves
Yep.
seahorses. She
Yeah.
loves seahorses, but we don't have any now, just the hedgehog, which is, they are very cute and very sweet.
Yeah.
They really are, but they are not. They live in your
I've gotta get my
house.
coat on.
3:00 in the morning, they're running on the wheel.
Yeah.
What does Steve think of this?
Steve is oblivious. Steve's on the first floor of the hedgehog's in the attic,
Okay.
and Steve, once he's down,
I
Steve's a
had,
mess.
I had this.
Everything
book
was a big
story,
hurt.
Princess Kalina and the Hedgehog about this princess that refused to clean up. And somehow this hedgehog.
And then you can just go straight to the motel. I gotta get mayonnaise for
So
dinner.
it's like a,
I mean, they're kind of interesting, like porcupines are interesting, they're type of solitary, so they, when they interact with you, it's sort of not their nature.
I just gotta get my cat out of the way.
But if you train them, they will. You know, like if I stick my finger under Scout's chin,
Oh, yeah.
they pick his head up.
There you go.
Oh.
Give me a shot.
Sweet.
You gave me a love shot.
They do have pills, and my dachshund absolutely wants to kill it.
I shot you, well, I gave you a love shot.
Yeah.
My dog came out of the woods after biting porcupine once. She was a shepherd cross, and she wouldn't my vet had to put her down normally. So when she came out of the ghost, she stood there and let me sit with her. And that was one of the time. And she was just like,
Right.
yeah. Then I bet she'd do that again.
The
Still
dachshund,
with us.
the dachshund is an interesting.
Yeah.
Very sweet, super sweet, but they are the most ornery, stubbornest. Have you ever had one? You never had
No,
one?
my friend had one.
They're really like the strongest will. It's a good thing they don't weigh 70 pounds.
Yeah.
They're the most aggressive, and that Steve's life is living hell because she knows there's something wrong with him. She just tortures him.
Oh,
She drives him out of his bed every day and chases him around.
Yeah.
But if you held her, you'd be like, oh, she'll let you hold her like a baby and like stare in her eyes.
He's like, I'm an angel.
Yes,
so
I'm
you put
gonna
me down.
look at how beautiful I am. Yeah.
It's amazing how unique they are.
I love we have different personalities. It's just,
Me
I don't
too.
know.
Yeah, if there is a heaven somewhere, I want my soul to mingle with the dogs, not the cats. I'm sorry, no offense.
So every once in a while I find a cat or a cat finds me, but I don't go out looking for them.
I miss my cats. We had two when we came here, and they were both more like dogs. I think it's because I raised them that
Well,
way.
now you have dogs.
No, I have dogs.
Yeah,
We
you
have
never
one
have
cat,
another
Cat Stevens.
Really, Cat
Oh, Cat
Stevens? That's
Stevens.
great, yeah.
Well, when we got him, the kid had named him Bro. We just couldn't
Bro.
do that.
Hey, bro.
Yeah, we couldn't do Bro. So we thought, well, instead of Bro, why not Cat?
Do they cats generally respond to their names?
I don't know.
Our cats did.
Yeah,
They come.
not as
They
much
run
as
after a
mine.
ball, but
Yeah, I had a cat that used to go walking with dogs when we got in the woods. We'd walk along with us.
one of my best friends, she got a cat a year ago. And when we talk on the phone, her cat will actually talk to me. I'll say, hi, Maria, how you doing? And I'll say something else, it will stop, and then it will just keep.